Hello, and welcome to this series of meditations called In Jars of Clay, Embodied Prayer in a Time of Crisis. I'm Rachelmichael, and as part of the leadership team here at St John's and St Mary's Isleworth, I have some involvement in the prayer activities of our parish. One of the things I most love doing is introducing people to interior silent prayer. The kind of prayer that focuses on discovering God's presence within the depths of our being. Over the years, through the ups and downs of my life, and although it's not always easy, I often find a deep sense of nourishment and sustenance in this meditative form of prayer. I also teach body awareness and therapeutic movement, and find that consciously involving my body can be helpful in enabling me to focus and engage in prayer with the whole of my being. Many of those that I work with seem to find the same, especially those who say that they find prayer to be particularly difficult. When the UK lockdown began, I wanted to offer something that might help people to pray in the midst of this crisis. And I wanted it to be something that integrates body, mind, and spirit within the Christian tradition. This is because I believe so strongly that listening to and working through the body with awareness is one of the keys to resilience, well-being, and spiritual life. So, once again, welcome to this series of meditations. This is video number 6 in the series, and if you haven't already done so, I suggest that you listen to videos 1 and 2 to begin with. The first video gives an introduction to the series and provides a context for the meditations. In the second video, I lead an introductory meditation, focusing on giving attention to breathing and awareness of the body in the context of silent prayer. In this video, I will lead you in a meditation called Praying Through Hopelessness, with a focus on awareness of the body, the breath, movement, and the use of imagery. This is a practical session, and I'll be guiding you step by step. I do hope that you'll join me. If you'd like to participate, by way of preparation, see if you can find a fairly upright chair that you can sit in comfortably. Sitting upright helps us to remain alert and attentive, but it's also important to be comfortable so that you can relax. For this meditation, it will be helpful if you have enough space to reach out in front of you and a little to either side. If you're able to situate yourself facing a window, that will also add to your experience, but it's not essential. It's good to have your feet flat on the floor so that you feel connected with the ground, and to have your lower back supported. You might want to use a small cushion for that purpose, perhaps. So I'll let you get ready now, and we'll begin shortly. So, as you begin, letting your hands rest in your lap and your head rest on the top of your neck. See if you can feel an openness across your chest. And allow your shoulders to relax and drop. You might like to close your eyes and turn your attention to focus within. Allowing your attention to drop down from your head, down through your neck, down through your chest, into the core of your body. How do you feel right now? In these strange and difficult times, many people are facing uncertainty and insecurity, perhaps through the loss of regular employment, secure income, meaningful occupation, and connection with colleagues, peers, friends, or family members. If you've been affected by these or other limiting and unwelcome circumstances, you might find yourself feeling despondent or lethargic. Perhaps you feel a loss of hope and a sense of futility. Your energy level might be quite low. You might feel like giving up. And it can be hard to keep going in a positive way. Perhaps you even feel tempted to despair. At times like these, it's important to remember that God's Spirit is still at work. The divine Creator is always doing a new thing, and the mercies of God are new every morning. In this meditation, we're going to work on bringing a sense of life and energy to the body. You can do this with your eyes either open or closed, or a mixture of both. So I invite you now to bring your hands together, as you might at the start of a prayer time. But instead of keeping the hands still, try rubbing them together, as if you were wanting to get warm on a cold day. You might try this with your hands cupped around each other, rubbing side to side, and also with the palms and fingers flat against each other, rubbing up and down. As you do this, you're generating energy through the action of friction. If you hold your hands slightly apart now, with the palms facing each other, you might be able to sense the energy vibrating between the two hands. Try doing this a few times, rubbing your hands together and then holding them apart, until you feel some warmth and tingling life in or between your hands. Now rub your hands together again, and afterwards bring the energy that you have generated to your legs by placing the palms of your hands on your thighs and letting the hands slide over your legs, stimulating the surface of your skin, the circulation, and awakening the sense of life in this part of your body. You might even reach below the knee, down a little way to the lower legs, the calves and shins. Now rub your hands together again and do the same, but with your arms this time, rubbing up and down your arms, stimulating the surface of your skin and awakening energy and life. You can try the same idea with the center of your body as well, bringing your hands to your belly, your chest, and then leaning forward a little way so that you might be able to reach and rub the lower back. After you've connected through the sense of touch with the core of your body in different ways, take a moment or two to let the hands rest on the belly or the solar plexus or the chest, and take a few long, slow breaths, allowing any stale air to be expelled and drawing fresh, renewing air to fill your body. Next, let the left hand rest in your lap and bring the right hand upwards across your chest to rest on the top of your left shoulder. Sometimes tension and stress accumulate in these muscles, so you might like to give yourself a mini massage, circling the tips of your fingers and pressing gently into the muscle that stretches from the base of the neck to the top of your shoulder. Imagine breathing into this area as you do so, and allowing any tension to soften and release as you breathe out. As you make these movements, see if you can allow for a softening and a letting go of resistance to how things are for you right now. Inviting instead an attitude of yielding and acceptance. When you're ready to swap over, repeat this on the other side, massaging into the tops of your shoulders, breathing into this area, and allowing tension and resistance to soften and release. Now let the hands rest in your lap. And then slowly raise your head, as if you're looking up towards the sky with its infinite space. You might try placing your hands with linked fingers behind the back of your neck, just to help support your head and give an added sense of expansion and openness across your chest. Now slowly drop your head until you're looking down and can see your own body with the ground underneath you. Then rest for a moment, sitting comfortably. It can be easy to lose perspective when we're not going out and about as usual, and when our options are significantly limited. Yet through Christ we can always connect with the infinite, as well as the global, the local, and the personal. Let's explore doing that now, by consciously choosing to focus our attention at different levels. So I invite you to begin by looking upwards towards the sky. The infinite space of the sky reminds us of God's eternal power and divine nature. Try reaching up above your head and see if you can sense an energetic connection with the infinite, with the eternal spirit, as you do this. Now allow your eyeline to drop downwards a little, but not quite to horizontal, as if you were looking over the tops of the houses in your street, perhaps. Let your arms come down at the same time, again a little above the horizontal and reaching forwards. See if you can focus on the far distance and remember the length, breadth, height, and depths of God's love throughout the world. As you continue to reach out, see if you can sense an energetic connection with this endless divine mercy, extending out to all humanity at this time. Now allow your eyeline to drop a little further, so that you're looking out straight in front of you, and let your arms drop down a little further also, just a little lower than the shoulders, and out to each side in a wide V shape. Turn your attention to what lies around you, in your street, neighborhood, and community. As you continue to reach out, remember that Christ goes before us and is always at work in our neighborhoods and communities. And now allow your eye line to drop down towards your own space, your own body and what lies around you. Holding your hands close to you with palms upwards. Remember that this same eternal God is always with you, behind and before, in your going out and your coming in. See if you can sense the life and energy of your hands, and remember the divine source of life itself. Take a moment now to sit and breathe with your hands in your lap, perhaps allowing a sacred word or phrase to arise and be spoken within you. Perhaps the name Jesus, or another word that evokes God's presence for you. And now I invite you to try the sequence of movement again, and with each different level of focus or horizon, allow some time to take a few breaths in and out, allowing the sacred word to arise and be spoken within you as you do that. So as you look up and reach up towards the sky, sensing your connection with the eternal Spirit of God. As you drop your gaze a little and reach out in front, sensing your connection with God's endless mercy and love throughout the world. As you look straight in front and reach a little lower and to each side, sensing your connection with the presence of Christ in your community and neighbourhood. And as you drop your gaze down to your own space, remembering that God is always with you and around you, behind you and before. When you're ready, come to rest again with your hands in your lap, with palms upwards, feeling the aliveness of your body and the energetic connection with the space around you. Beyond any sense of dullness, futility, or emptiness, there is presence. There is being. And from this awareness of being, I invite you to allow an image to arise. The image of a lighted candle, held in a silver candle holder. You might ask the Holy Spirit to speak to you through this image, bringing encouragement and hope. And hear Jesus' words: I am the resurrection and the life. We will bring the meditation to a close shortly, so pause the recording if you would like more time. If you are ready to finish, you might allow a moment of gratitude for anything that you have received through this meditation time. Then slowly open your eyes and gently bring yourself back to the space. Know that you can come back to these gestures and images at any time to remind you of the dynamic and eternal love of God, the living Word, through whom all things are created, and in whom all things hold together. That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been wonderful to connect with you. Feel free to leave a comment, or you can reach me by email at rachelmichael@stjohnsisleworth.org.uk. The email address can be found in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this meditation and found it helpful, you might also like to try the meditations in videos 3, 4 and 5, called Praying Through Anxiety, Praying Through Sadness, and Praying Through Agitation. In the next and final video, I will be sharing a few thoughts to conclude the series. I hope that you'll want to join me for that. In the meantime, goodbye for now.